So I've got a parcel here from Bayer, and it looks like it's a bottle of wine. Oh, Barley Gin. Thank you very much, Bayer. That will go down very well. Well, Frankie, what's it got here? We'll see what's in this. Frankie, what have we got here? There we are, Frankie. To celebrate spring being upon us, we would like to take this opportunity to bring you the enclosed booklet and gin as a flavour of our face-to-face meetings we were unable to bring you again this last year. Well, thank you, Bayer. It's fantastic to be associated with you and have this great contact and all the work we do together. This is the field that we had sugar beet in only about a month ago, and you remember what it was like getting it out, how much we rutted it, and then across the road here towards the yard, and this roadside verge is still badly rutted. We need to repair this, but look there now what that's like, how good that is compared to this. And of course we'd had a lot of rain when we were lifting the sugar beet here, but it just shows you how forgiving this actual soil is. Can't tell there was any problem there now. One thing I've been meaning to mention on my weekly waffles is our blackgrass policy. For those of you who are following me from other countries, or livestock farmers in this country, or even those of you who are non-farming folk, which is great that you're following, because I try and keep my videos interesting about food production. But just looking at blackgrass, it's a weed, it's a grass weed that developed or started in eastern England, and through baling and the spreading of straw, it's then spread to other parts of the country. And this particular field I'm in here was really, really bad in 2012, and we actually had some fields here was so bad you actually had to part the wheat crop to see what was growing amongst it. And so I decided in 2012 to do something about it, and what we did was have a zero tolerance approach. So for the last 6 years we've gone to harvest with no blackgrass seeding, and we've done that by ruthlessly spraying off areas of a growing crop that's had blackgrass growing in it, because you cannot control blackgrass within a crop of wheat or barley or anything like that. You can have maybe a 70% effect on controlling it, but then the other 30% drop seeds. It's such a vigorous plant, and it'll actually reduce yield. We get 100 plants per hectare of a grass weed will reduce yield by 1 tonne a hectare. That is just a colossal amount of yield to lose. And so I decided to have a zero tolerance approach. We do this by hand roguing, so I get a team from abroad through an agency I use near Boston, and it's becoming a bit difficult since Brexit getting these teams, but we use a team from abroad to come and hand pull. We spend around £30,000 a year hand roguing blackgrass, and yes, it's expensive, but we've reduced our overall herbicide spend. So now this last year we're actually controlling blackgrass, and our actual complete herbicide program is costing no more than £90 per hectare, and that includes hand roguing with a team pulling the weeds as well. And doing it this way has enabled us to get on top of it. So looking at the crop here, this particular corner of the field was really bad, and in 2012, 2013, this is what this part of the field looked like. You can see complete coverage between the rows. Blackgrass is very small, spindly weed. It's and spreads and covers the soil surface. One ear of blackgrass will deposit anywhere up to between 500 or it could be 1,000 seeds back into the soil. So it's a very, very vigorous plant, and that is why I chose a few years ago to stop its seeding. So you can see here, very vigorous, and lots of soil cover between the rows. Sorry, lots of blackgrass cover between the rows. So this was a few years ago, and now this is what it's like today. So this video I've just taken, you can see completely clear here, no blackgrass between the rows, and we've managed to eliminate it or seriously reduce it. We did that by completely removing winter wheat from the rotation, and I really believe that you cannot control blackgrass if you continue to grow winter wheat. And then on the fields we actually operated a traffic light system. So the really bad fields I put into a red category. That was a complete no, to winter wheat. So we went into spring barley continuous. Spring barley is good because it's a competitive crop. It helps to smother out the blackgrass plants and stops the light penetrating, getting into the crop. Then the amber crops were the ones that, or amber fields were the ones that we'd got blackgrass in, but only in limited numbers, so we could control them. And then the green fields were the ones predominantly on our light land, which is just 3 miles up that way, which didn't have any blackgrass in at all. So then I've managed to take some of the fields from the red down into the amber category and the amber down into the green. So I've really changed what we've done. And a few years ago, when we started this policy, we actually had half the farm growing winter wheat. And then when we really got into it, we actually completely took a lot of winter wheat out, and we were down to about 18% of the farm winter wheat, and a lot of it growing spring wheat. Spring crops. Oilseed rape was again not a good crop. We used to find at harvest we had blackgrass growing down in the bottom of the canopy when we used to combine oilseed rape, and of course oilseed rape grows up here and you can't get into the canopy to control it, and so we used to find that. So that was another, we stopped growing rape in the fields where they were bad for blackgrass. So just summarising, you can get rid of it, you can have a big impact, but you need to change what you're doing. And the old Einstein philosophy is doing the same thing over and over again, hoping of a different result, is the really, really important one, and very, very apt for blackgrass control. I have actually just found a few blackgrass plants on the edge of the field. You can see there how vigorous they are and how they're spread out, and you can see just the massive amount of tillers on that one. And how much seed it would drop. But what we do here, we go around the outside of every field and we spray with glyphosate, little area sort of there to there, and just remove all these weeds and create what we call a sterile strip around the outside. And it gives also wildlife an area where they can keep out the rain and have a bit of a dusting as well, that they like to do. So I've got a Bailey lorry in the yard today, but they haven't brought us a Bailey trailer. They've brought us our drill filling trailer that I've bought from a farm down in Bedfordshire. That's good of them to bring it for us. So we'll get it off and then we'll be able to get it alongside the drill and just see how we want to change it. We've got a lot of alteration to do to it, I think, but we've got the basis here with the hopper and everything to make it easier filling our drill. We've got an auger extension there that fits in there, but we've got to do a lot with it yet because we're not sure until we get the drill stood alongside it. We might even have to put a completely new auger on. I think it was late 90s this was made, but the time we get it titivated up, get it shot blasted and everything, and get it how we want, it should be good. The idea is that we can stand it in the edge of the field on the headland with seed in, be able to fill the drill without having a tractor on it. And then when we're loading sugar beet and things like we are with the forklift have been this year, the drill can still be filled without having a forklift there. Just looking at this lorry, great paint or a wrapping job on there. Great Lincolnshire company. Now just heading across to the fertilizer tanks, and Tom is filling the Bowser, you can see behind me, but when I get near to it the engine will drown out my voice. But we're just putting a bit more liquid fertilizer on some of the wheats. Ruben has gone up with the sprayer to start, and this is on the light land that you saw we drilling last week, and we've got these 3 50,000 litre tanks. I'll turn the camera around and you can have a look. So these 3 tanks hold 50,000 litres in each. There's a full bund, sealed bund round, and this fertiliser, each of those, the bulk density is 1.3, so what's that, about 70 tonnes in each tank, just a bit under. You can see there the level of that one, just there. So we've got this 3-inch pipe. Fill over there. Got a little can there to drip, to hold the drip so it doesn't leak out anywhere. This 3-inch pipe. And here's the 2 sight tubes. See that going in there, then this other front tank is empty. So this is the separate compartment tank from there to there, and then those three is the other tank. That one is about 5,000 litres and those three are about 12,500. We've got a flat bed on the front there to put an IBC or a plastic container, but because of the bulge of that front tank, the milk tank, it's an ex-milk tank, there isn't room, so we do need to change that if we want to put an IBC of manganese or something like that on it. But access platform up the top. We'll have a look up the top. So got a good ladder up to the top and a safety rail, and then these are the lids into the compartment. Undo that. There we are. That's it filling. You can see the side tube, the float there. And if we undo this front one, I think that is empty. Yeah, there you go. Look into there, and that is completely empty. So it's great having these separate compartments in. So we've got the handrail at the top, that when you lift this up, it alters and shuts the handrail. There. Then we've also got the trailer brake air tank linked into this pipe, because this pipe is really heavy when it's full. So those valves, undo those. So that's air blowing this back in there. And there, you can hear that bubbling. And that's emptying this pipe, which, look at that, so much easier. Then we just shut that valve off there, and that one. That's it. And then shut this valve off here, and then you flick that, and that releases the air that's in the pipe. And that's it. That just makes that pipe a lot easier to handle. So I'm just going to get this off the lorry and using the hook on the front of the Manitou. That's it. Put that down, otherwise we'll catch the trailer. There we go. That's it, that's off. One thing I haven't mentioned is my discovery had a little bit of a bump when we were on the way to Schaefer Sprayers, which was towards the end of January. Tom was driving because I was in the back on the Zoom call, and it was very icy and slippery and frosty. Skidded on the corner, ran into the side of another car, and ended up doing quite a bit of damage to the front. And I've been waiting for a front bumper since the end of January. It's finally arrived and just come into our local garage in the village where I live, and so it's going in Monday to be fixed. But I just wanted to show you some of the issues I've got with it. Apparently the lights, it needs 2 new headlights, and I'll show you why. Look in there, that plastic bracket is broken. That is attached to the back of the headlight. This one is the same. You can see there it's broken and it's moulded in the back of the headlight. That's why it needs 2 new headlights. How much do you think the headlights are? £1,500 each. So it needs 2 new headlights and new bumper. You can see the damage there and all underneath there. There it's cracked there, and also underneath there it's pushed that little light back there. And yeah, so it needs a new bumper, but the repair for this, the total repair is just under £7,000. My dilemma, do I do that? We're insured with NFU Mutual, which they're always very good. Do I save the cost and try and super glue those brackets and save £3,000 and yeah, Frankie's having a look, and save £3,000 to try and make sure my premium doesn't go up or alter next September when we have our review. But just interesting, £7,000 worth of repairs there, and a headlight at £1,500 each. Staggering. Got the combine in the workshop today. We've got Russell's here doing the winter service. Ryan's doing it. He's been doing it now for 3 or 4 years. So we're going through everything. That bar needs straightening. A few chains to replace. But generally it's in it's good condition. We do this every single year, and we spend about £5,000 a winter getting it all serviced and sorted. And this is the CR 9090, so there's no straw walkers in here. And just go underneath here, and they're busy changing the engine oil and filters. We've got the panel out above the sieves. Here's all the sieves and the workings, that the combine rotors there, where all the straw goes up. And then there's the engine, you can just see the engine up there. And there are the rotors inside there. Can't really see them with that guard on. Carry all the straw up through the combine, the other part of it there. Just doing some repairs, making some brackets to go on the header. Just got a few repairs to do to the header when we get it on. Ruben's just up there doing the hydraulic, the hydraulic oil. But this combine now has done, I think, 7 seasons. It's coming up to its 7th season this year, but it's perfectly good enough for our 1,600 acres.